Remember, remember, the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason, and plot. I see no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Guy Fawkes, 'twas his intent to blow up the king and the parliament. 70 barrels of powder below, poor old England to overthrow. By God's providence was he catched, with a dark lantern and burning match. Holla boys, let the bells ring. Holla boys, God save the king. It's the 5th of November, isn't it? Hello, everybody. Hello, everyone. I realised I hadn't actually heard the full version of that poem in a long time. Not so sure on that last line. Not really a fan of that. But hey ho. But yeah. For those who are outside of the UK, this is the 5th of November, so this is the night that we just explode a portion of our country. For some reason. Ostensibly to celebrate that someone tried to blow up the Houses of Parliament and failed. Who was a bastard. Like, the gunpowder treason was not done by good people. But yeah, it's a weird little thing we celebrate. So yeah, if you hear banging in the background, that's because people are setting off fireworks. And yeah, it's kind of just it's just a lot of noise. It's kind of if you're like in a place where it's away from other people, and you can enjoy it on its own merits, and that's the thing you're into. Cool, but I know a lot of people, and for a lot of pets, it's not a good time. So yeah, you have my sympathies for that. Can I ask you to give us a photocopy of the Rogue Trader painting guide? It's online. I know it is online somewhere because I had a PDF scan of it before I actually got a physical one. I will put it up at some point. It's all scanned in, you know. But yeah, lots of explosions. A kiss, marry, diss. Guy Fawkes, Rasputin, Robert E. Lee. Can we just throw them all into a fire? Jesus. Rural neighborhoods have horses. So we get flashy ones, but not boomy ones. That sounds fun. Like, I like fireworks, if I'm, like, going to go and see them. But I'm aware that I have the, like, luxury of loud noises not setting me off or anything. Like, so, it's a whole thing. Anyway. I was going to try and have some kind of transition, but I think every transition involved blowing up the Houses of Parliament, and I probably shouldn't talk about that. Historically. Anyway, going to play more Satisfactory today. It's just me on my own, since, as you see, Longfang is in chat, but I didn't tell him that I would be requiring his assistance until like half an hour ago, because I forgot, because I was busy writing, beginning the long arduous work of a script about a particularly unconvincing cryptid, because I am a ridiculous person, and I got stuck in a weird like loop of like watching these terrible videos where they're saying these things are moving at thousands of miles an hour, and so I had to write several paragraphs about how it's actually really hard to know the relative, like how fast something is going on a piece of video if you don't know where it is in relation to the camera and or any like point, and you don't know how big it is. If you don't know either of those things, you cannot work it out. Like, you just fucking can't. So yeah, I got stuck in a thing about that. I was talking about flying rods. If you're interested, it should hopefully be a video. It'll probably be next year or something that happens. Because rods are the least convincing cryptid that exists. If you don't know about them, they're a thing where people see insects flying around in video footage, and so it ends up with like leaving streaky like motion blur, and they decide that that is some kind of like new insect. That's it, and it's not. It's about as convincing as from. No, I actually think the Loveland frog is more convincing than rods, because like at least there was a thing, there was an honest misunderstanding there, and a correction, and people don't seem to earnestly believe in it as much, but rods, there's so many people that do, and it's so just it messes with me. Like, I find it genuinely fascinating that anyone can believe in these things, because you just have to know a cursory amount about how video works to know that they're just insects or birds or some other kind of particulate matter flying through the air at speed, and these outrageous speeds that they can get to aren't that outrageous when you realize that they're like a bug that's like 2 millimeters long flying straight past the lens of your camera. They would be fast if it was like 20 feet from the camera and much larger, but they're not. Anyway, I should play the game, otherwise I'm just going to be talking about rods. No, not the fun kind, eh? Okay, it loads. Oh, and yes, Longfang. Yes, I did post. It was yesterday now. I posted a new Transformers video. I think someone said that I missed who it was that said it. I was just scanning over. I was ranting about rods, and this is important to me. So Cyborg. Thank you. Yeah, Cyborg saying that they enjoyed it. So thank you. I put up a quick video on a cheap one-step changer Megatron. Well, it wasn't that cheap originally. I think they were like 15 quid originally, which is absolutely not worth. But I uploaded a quick video because I've got like the... Longfang, that was not what you said. I completely misread. Oh my god, I am so out there. I will have to have a look at that. My god. See, this is what happens when I come out of literally just, like, I stopped writing 5 minutes before the stream started. My brain is in a weird place. Apparently I can't, the part of my brain that reads and the part of my brain that writes just don't coexist. Ugh. But anyway, yeah, I did make a video. Yeah, go watch that if you want. How long until you finally crack and buy that Transformer Lego? Me and the one I bought the other day. Yep. I got it. Kirioth basically sent me the money for it. Basically saying, just fucking buy the thing. And since he sent me money, I kind of had to. So, yeah, I have that prowl. I did actually build a Creo kit the other day. I meant to post it online and I didn't. Which was, I think Longfang got me a little bit ago, which was the Predaking set, which is basically where using Creo minifigures or creons, as they're apparently called, you can assemble them together into like a combiner. It's very interesting, weirdly like solid. But yeah, I have the prowl. A video will be done on it at some point. But since I've been building up the fucking thing for like 6 months or something on Twitter, I want to do it right. So I want to get my existing projects out of the way first, before I start tackling that one. Don't know why I didn't just hit continue as soon as I ended up in this. As soon as I ended up in the game. Oh, thank you for the sub there, Anachromech. Thank you very much. Which took a second to come up. Ah, and then the noise happened after the notification. Thank you, Streamlabs. On the ball as always. But no, thank you very much. 29 months. Ah, heck. Weird Soup, I have heard that the Weird Al biopic is very good. I am, in all honesty, just generally a fan of anything I see Daniel Radcliffe in these days, because he's just ridiculous. Okay, so let the game have its 10 seconds of freaking the hell out. Okay, we do it. We good? We good? We good? Okay. Right. Okay, so the tower. I have filled in the gaps. So this is where it stands, a giant monument to man's arrogance. Now, I have moved most of the stuff inside now. The only thing I haven't done yet is the concrete production, because I haven't decided where that's going to go yet. So that's still just coming into here, which I'll deal with in a second. And I did remove the hookup to this, so I can move this as well. But that's a point. That's for later. So, the hub is now moved onto a nice little platform connected to the main thing, because I thought that'd just be a nice thing to do. And just rotated it like 90 degrees, just because then that means that the jet part is less likely to hit anything. I made a nice little bay here for some tractors in case we need them. They're all fueled up as well. A lot of the just random stuff that was out here is now in here. So we've got the sink here, which you know, and all of this guff. I have another truck station, because I did actually finally decide to learn how to do the truck automation thing, which, if you remember in the last stream, we found the quartz thing over here. So I went out there, put a docking station down, and a couple of miners, so that is now mining there, and a van, little tractor thing, goes all the way out there to pick it up and come all the way back. I had to build a little plinth there because the tractor kept bombing it around this corner at full speed and basically hitting a tiny bump that is imperceptible, but it made it like freak out and flip over. So I had to just put a little flat ground here for it to just pass over, because it just wouldn't behave otherwise. It's still, if I'm in the area when it comes back, it's all the way like over there right now. If it's in the area, I'll show you, because you can see the AI does not like coming around that corner. So yeah, that comes in here, and that just brings in quartz, which currently I actually just have hooked up to the sink because I've been trying to grind out coupons, which is why we have things like these roof pieces and the angled parts you can see here, because I ground out the things so that we could actually have them. So yeah, what else has been done? I still haven't fixed the awkward ladder where you have to slightly goo yourself to get in the ladder, but we'll sort that out. That's all the same. Apart from the top of the sink came through here, so I just like cordoned it off. I still need to hook those extra things up, but in here that's all the same. Apart from that's backed up because we finished off the thing. Because yeah, it's been a weird thing because I've been like only just kind of repairing systems we already had in place and like fixing them up and not doing entirely new things. Apart from the quartz, I guess, but we'd already done like you know, automated tractor thing, so I didn't, you know. But yeah, so I've been avoiding doing anything too new. So I've done like the milestone to get. Oh, what was the milestone I actually finished off? Did I finish a milestone? No, I think I think we might have just finished one. So I got logistics. I'm doing logistics now. This is the copper stuff that was down the bottom, and I just moved it up here. Although I did expand it, so it's now producing all three basic copper things. So the cables, the wire, and the sheets. So they're all being automated, and they all go down into the big wall of things down the bottom. Okay, I think I might have added another generator or two, because obviously, yeah, the generators have gone from the outside, the biofuel ones, because I don't need them anymore. Then this is clear, except for these two things, which will be, this is going to be a steel production area, which is what we will be doing today. Yeah. And then I think everything else is actually the same. It's just I just filled in the tower, so it's just a solid thing. I mean, a lot of these walls will be coming down and maybe getting extended or swapped out for glass as things go. So, you know, I just kind of, like, ticked away. I also flipped that thing around so it wasn't sticking out the wall. But yeah, so I've just been doing all the bits and pieces, you know. There wasn't, like, a grand thing I did. I made that little balcony there as well. Mostly, yeah, just kind of moving some stuff around. And yeah, I do need to move that inside, but I don't know exactly where it's going to go. But yeah, I've got plenty of room on, like, most of these levels. You know what, I'm just going to grab these off the thing, because I don't need them right now, and I am just going to go and pop them in the sink, so that I get closer to unlocking windows, because I want windows. Eat them. Okay, so I'm at 0. I've got one there. I think windows are a 5 thing. Sorry, forgive me. I have some Tang Fast sticks next to me, and I am eating a cherry. So I'm going to do the steel framed ones for 3, or the regular windows for 6. And since I do not have steel production up and running yet, I'm probably going for the windowed walls. So 6. I also need the doors. Ah well. We'll figure it out. Because first I need to set up steel production. So. And we have a whole level in which to do that. Like, I've intentionally not filled up each level. Like, there's lots of room on each level so that things can be expanded. I mean, I know, like, some of the stuff, like, the lowest level with all of the iron production stuff, that's going to need so much more, like, as we get to, like, late game stuff. And so I'll have to add, like, extra iron levels higher up in the tower. That's just going to have to happen. But, you know what, that's part of the thing, isn't it? We've started off with a base and we're just going to keep going up. So, yeah. Oh, and yes, guys, the Tans. Yes, the guy that played Ardeth Bay is the Chief of Starfleet in Discovery. The unreasonably handsome man. So, to make steel, we need a foundry. Or more accurately, I'm going to build 2 foundries. With room for more. So, to make steel, you need iron ore and coal. So, this is splitting off from the iron ore from the iron level, and... Oh, hey, Hibby. How you doing? And yeah, so the coal from up top, which is coming down here, some of it goes down the bottom to help refuel the other tractor I did, and this is now coming up here. Because there's so much coal being brought in right now, we're in no danger of running out on these things. We've got plenty of power to play with for now. Make sure to keep note of where you're keeping your foundries. You wouldn't then want them to become losteries. Okay, I'm going to need someone to time out Goth. I joke. Okay. Completely missed the ladder. But yeah, so we'll get those hooked up, and then those will be producing steel ingots. If I remember correctly, yeah, steel ingots, and then we can then make those into the two types of steel girders and pipes, or something like that. And then, yeah, that is the plan. So yeah, first off, we will get this right. Is all the coal stuff still coming in on that one truck via the Skyway? Yeah. It's still enough to cover purposes. Actually, I should go up and before I hook all this up, I should go up and make sure that because a little bit more. I fuck that up. Because more stuff is being pulled in, I should double check that it's not pulling too much from there. Because there's like a huge container, like the depot thing has a huge like container like element to it. It means that it takes a while before things will start to show up as being a problem, even if they are a problem right now. Oh, hey, thanks for the raid there, Prime B, and welcome raiders. Also, we pet the long fang. What would be an appropriate? I guess we'll wave hello. We love you. Okay, how long has it been? Okay, this is just coming in, so this is... Let's see if this completely fills up, which I believe it should... Yeah, okay, yeah. Okay. Right. That's nearly completely filling up, so that means there is a slight deficit we're running on coal. So that is something to pay attention to. It's not too much right now, but it will be something to figure out shortly. But we can get all this set up, and then that can be a concern after that. I can't wait till we can build tubes. I like tubes. Eh. Boo. Got myself very spun around for a second there. I was just like, what the fuck am I doing? Okay. Right, and that needs to go this way. Strictly speaking, I don't need to put the splitter on the very end one, but if you don't, then they don't line up quite as nicely, and it is aesthetically displeasing to me. So I must. This is a thing I must do, I'm afraid. Okay, so it's on that line. All right. That's level? Yeah, that's level. Good. No. Wib made a mix of Snake Eater and Evangelion. What? I feel like this might be a joke that requires me to have seen more than like 4 episodes of Evangelion. Let me get rid of that so it looks like I was doing it right the whole time. Long purple and green line. Oh, I suppose it is a bit of Eva Unit 1 or something, isn't it? Again, my entire knowledge of Evangelion comes from the fucking train anime, so you know. Okay, right, coal's coming in, so those will now produce steel ingots. I suppose what I should probably do is I could set up like 2 rows of let me just double check, because I'm pretty sure that the steel parts are just straight up like, yeah, they just require steel ingots. So what I might do is create like a single line of things. Well, I sort of like a one conveyor belt that comes down the middle, and then have down one side one type of steel item, and down another type of steel item, and then I can just add a few more of these as I go. I suppose I should probably leave a fair bit of room so I can add in multiple of these, like maybe 2 rows of these, because I remember you always need more steel stuff. Oh, hey Sheridan, thank you for the raid. Train anime, Shinkalion? Shinkalion? Yeah, that is an anime that goes places. I mean, to be fair, I haven't watched the actual anime series of it. I've only watched the movie, because I was like, oh, I want to watch this because this seems like fucking weird shit. It's got like, it's got Evangelion characters and I didn't put it that way. It's got, yeah, Evangelion characters and Godzilla and Hatsune Miku in it. Like, that is too fucking bizarre to not be something I am going to watch. So, and then it was like, oh, by the way, it's it's like a long anime series. Well, I say long, it's like 30 odd episodes. I'm like, I am not watching 30 episodes of that. I will just watch the movie and be mildly confused the whole time. It's less Shinji getting the fucking Hatsune Miku. It's more Shinji getting the fucking train. Because the Eva Unit train is one of like the hypest fucking moments in anything. It's ridiculous. Like Hatsune Miku is just like he's just in it in like an entirely like surface level way. It's just a cat. It's just like, oh, let's just use Hatsune Miku's character and name for this. Oh, fucking. Really? What's going on there? What's happening? That should be flat. Did that get built slightly in the floor? Or is that? No, that's raised slightly. What? What? Is that normal? Yeah. Ah. And then I put it the wrong way around because I'm a fucking idiot. Okay. Yeah, see, that's completely flat now. What the fucking hell's going on there? Huh, weird. See, now that one's just an honest fuck up. Are you right above the coal generators? Not right above. They're over there. Coal generators are poking out so that the chimneys can stick out the top. Okay. Oh good, not only are there explosions outside, but our neighbour is deciding to launch his singing career. That's glorious, I'm happy about that. Just swap those around, I keep hitting the wrong one by accident. Let's do it that way. Doot. And then this doot goes over a hoot. Helps if you have steel plates. Or iron plates, I suppose. What are they saying? I don't know. He makes noises and I try to ignore them. A little leg breakage. Just give me those iron plates. You don't need them. Basically, once I've got the steel production underway and I can get Logistics Mark III out of the way, so I can make the better conveyor belts, then I can start figuring out like, because currently we have a deficit on screws. But that problem is largely caused by just not having conveyor belts that can move stuff fast enough. Like obviously, there are ways to make it work, but you'd have to have things splitting off from being like a central trunk line. Did I do that right around? Yes, I did that right around. Good. I like making central trunk lines. They're fun. I'm guessing it's like a less charming version of Club Singers round from Shooting Stars. Very much so. Very much so. Also, I appreciate a Shooting Stars reference in the year of our Lord 2022. Don't remind me, it's 2022. It still feels wrong. Well, I'm afraid to inform you that we're not far off done with it. we're barreling towards 2023 with great vengeance, and that upsets me immensely. Thinking of shooting stars, I don't know if it's still there, but there was a bar in Leicester that had the Dove from Above in it. I don't know if it was a recreation or if it was one of the original props, but yeah, they just had the Dove from Above. If you don't know what that is, I don't know if any amount of context can help you. I was more of a fan of the Vest from the West. Is it the Beast from the East? And George Dawes from the upper floors? The Crow from Below. That was the other one. Anyway, Shooting Stars, it was an old British comedy show. Yeah, it's a thing that existed. Right, okay. So now we are producing the 2 steel items. So, what I now need to do is to get the end result of those down into the very bottom of the factory. So, let me just poke my head out and see what we've got going on out here, because I know there's a few things. Alright, so that's all over that side. So if I come down over this side somewhere, then it's completely clear. Because, yeah, I'm going to come down the outside, because that's... A, makes the outside of the place a little more visually interesting, because there's shit going on out there. What was I fucking saying? Yes, I would agree. I liked Shooting Stars. I have not watched it since it was first on TV, so I imagine I'd probably think it was terrible if I saw it now. As is the way of things. But yes, it's very much that kind of comedy where you either, you either think it's very funny or it's just like completely incomprehensible and shite. I suppose I could come down this way actually. If I just go above the stuff that's there already, and that way I can come in here because this is the next available open slots. So yeah, fuck it, let's do that. Might as well come in right at the bottom, because then that saves me more space. Should have knocked out a wall up there so I knew exactly where I was coming from. But, well, we live, we learn. Okay. Let's do 2. Actually, shit, yeah, let's add the thingies. Shouldn't fill that in yet. That way around. Okay, I think that's the floor above. Okay, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. Because how am I going to do this? Okay, you know what? So I can space it out nicely. I'm going to have to go up. Yeah, I doubt it has aged well. And Cyborg, I think it's difficult to say when it comes to this kind of stuff, like comparing it to stuff that's contemporary now, because a lot of Dan Harmon stuff is still contemporary, so we're not going to know how that's going to feel until decades and decades have passed. You know. Whereas we can now look back on Shooting Stars and go, what the fuck is that show about? which you don't quite have with something that's contemporaneous. Okay. So it's this one. Alright. Okay. That's not ideal, but I can squeeze it. I can like have them come in here and just ooze around. It is doable. And they're going above anyway, so it doesn't fucking matter. Community's not age well. I've never really watched. I've watched like a couple of episodes of Community, but it was a long time ago, so I cannot say. My experience, most people tend to say it works quite. It's quite good. To be honest, I kind of find I tend to find that like what really ages a show is like whether it moves with the times. Like if you watch early, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. It's very, very, very edgy, and you know, it can be a bit of a hard sell to people, which, you know, doesn't really reflect how far the show came, where it became a lot more precise with its edginess. Probably a clearer example actually would be Bob's Burgers. The first couple of seasons can be a bit rough because it was trying to be a lot edgier. Also, I like the accidental face I've created there. But Bob's Burgers eventually became just this wonderful, wonderful, wholesome show. Because they basically dropped the edgy humor for the most part, and it was so much stronger for that. By contrast, you have Yes Minister. Every time I go back, I'm amazed how relevant jokes are. Well, you see, that's just because British politics is just an absolute nightmare, always has been, and we don't have any originality. We've just been making the same mistakes for decades, so that's why that works. That way around. Okay, so what I'm going to do is have these like stagger down a little bit. Just because I can't do it quite all in one thing, so... Oh god, I've got to get more fucking things, haven't I? Bob's Burgers is a better family type mayo fan. No, Bob's Burgers is like... I like how that show started. Like, when it started off, it was never bad, but it still had all the hallmarks of like, oh, this is a adult, quote unquote, adult comedy. Fuck that up, haven't I? But over time, they just got better. They were just like, no, let's like just do this properly, and like little things like Louise so easily could have just been a Stewie Griffin character, and I think she very nearly was. But they just over time went, no, let's make her like an actual character. let's just ooh. What's going on there? We have lost power. What is pulling too much power? Let me see. Ooh, is the coal situation. Ooh, yeah, I reckon that's it. I reckon I'm pulling too much coal away. If so, easily remedied for the time being. Yeah, yeah. I'm pulling too much coal. There we go. But yeah, no, it's funny. I actually watched the original Bob's Burgers pilot. I'll turn those off for the moment. Because I reckon it's less a case of there not being enough coal in the system, of it being it's just not moving fast enough. So, yeah, there we go. It's stable. So, yep. Okay, right. Well, we're going to have to get some more coal in the system then to be properly doing steel. Well, I know that now. Or at the very least, we've got to get the steel stuff functioning better. Coal more efficiently in. But then there is also, like, the issue with it not pulling enough. I guess I could put, like, an... Okay, I'm thinking I might have to, if I redo, I'm sorry, Longfang, but I might have to redo your coal run and have it actually stick to one side specifically, so we can have multiple tractors going back and forth. That could be one way of doing it. Okay, I think I'll try and do that. I think I will try and do that. So, yeah. Okay, what am I fucking doing? That's what I'm fucking doing. Alright. Ugh. Well, I just want things to be neat. I mentioned config. Yeah, you did actually. Yeah. So I shall do that. I shall do that once I've got all this hooked up. I hate it when things are like just slightly the wrong sort of like position to have a really nice and neat thing. Drives me up the wall. Hey ho. No, I'll just pull this up this way because I'm gonna have to like do this stuff when I words. Who needs them? Who needs them? Who needs to communicate? It's not like I've got a microphone in front of me and people expect some degree of communication from me or anything. Okay. How do word? How do word indeed, Hibby? How do word? I do word. Ostensibly on some professional level. Alright. Yes, I didn't actually hook the things up, so that one goes in there, and that one goes in there. Come on. Are they actually coming down? One's coming down. The other one I did hook up significantly later, so. Who would even professional word though? Yeah. I did Longfang. Like, yeah, streaming. We did streaming Bloodborne once, and oof. That game is a lot. My only wish with Bloodborne is that I wasn't quite as tired with Souls-likes when I played it. Like, I still have it. I can play it anytime I want. But yeah. It was a pity because I wasn't able to get too far through it. Like, it's great, it's a fucking amazing game. I did play. It wasn't like I didn't play much of it. I did play. I did put like 10 or so hours into it, but that's just nothing for a Souls-like. So you know. Okay. Alright, so I've got that. Okay. Since I can't be bothered to go and make the resources for another one, let's just steal one of these tractors. And then we will head up. And hopefully by the time we finished setting up this, like once this is set up, then we should be getting enough coal enough coal to make enough steel to replace all the conveyor belts to Mark IIIs that are needed, and then once we've done that, then we can get what actually.
Skulls for the skull throne!
Oof. That nearly got me. That nearly fucking got me. Thank you so much, Isophist. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. It's incredibly generous of you. For all the loves and self-care. And foods. Can't forget foods. We will buy some nice foods. Thank you very, very much. That is incredibly generous of you. Jump scare! Sometimes that's the thing. I can be made to pause. I think that's as that's where I kind of sit with that. Right. Pop this tractor down. Because I've got to wait a moment for the other one to come back. Let's make a custom thing for it. So I am going to make that one because the first one is Optimus. So we'll make that one Ultra Magnus. And then once that one comes in, I will redo the thing. Coming back? Yeah, that's coming back. Look at this beautiful world that we will destroy. I mean, in fairness, you're right there, lad. You're right. Yeah, you're having a bit of a wobble. Aha! I have you! Okay. You know what? I took that way in the wrong place. Okay. Okay. There are railings now. We put those mostly up in the last stream. Okay. The side of the road I am travelling down was picked entirely arbitrarily. So feel free to be annoyed and or not annoyed depending on where you live in the world. Close the loop to finish recording. That's what we do in America. I'm trying to get the track straight on the street surface. Yeah, it's kind of weird because it kind of like is a bit twitchy. Like, it's actually, for the most part, it doesn't, like, it doesn't pull away much, but it feels like it's gonna, so you overcorrect. Yeah, I need to get the concrete covering, because I think that it's a lot nicer. There we go, it actually did pull a little bit there. Okay. And then we turn around, and we go back on this side. It's so weird that these platforms are not flat, because you kind of just assume that it's done with a that the texture of it is just done with a bump map, and so the actual thing is not like actually like modeled. I mean, you actually get up close to it, you can see it is modeled, so it is not. But you kind of assume it was just like that. But no, it's physically a thing. So yeah. The worst part about this is that I have to do it and I have to be constantly looking to make sure it's not getting yanked off in a direction, because I just want to look at chat, but because it's recording my actions, I'm like, I can't make a mistake. Because if I make a mistake, I've got to do the whole fucking thing over again. Which would be annoying. Okay. Loop complete. Okay, right then. Let's save path as coal new. Right. That is on coal new. Let's get rid of the old one because we don't need that anymore. And then enable autopilot and leave, and that now should be on its way. Oh, Longfang got better. Okay, right. Put fuel in there. Load path. And then let's wait till it goes down the bottom. Building your vehicle impact callus. Yes. Okay, right. So we enable autopilot. Let's just see. Right, so I want to make sure that's most of the way down, so it kind of staggers it nicely. Because eventually, just because there's always a slight variation, like it has variations. Like sometimes it gets a little squirrely in certain areas, and sometimes it doesn't. So there's going to be times when these are going to eventually match up. But yeah, okay. Right then, off you go. Oh, I'm so proud. Oh, there's going to be a crash, isn't there? Okay. Suggestion of transformer faces to practice construction with, barring Starscream, because of course. Oh, for like modeling. Can't go wrong with a sound wave. The one down there has actually done its job. Good. Okay. Okay, they're too far away, unfortunately, and I don't have the resources to do it. Let's make sure. Are they going to cross? Are they going to cross? They passed each other just fine. Fucking A. There we go. Okay, right. Okay. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. We are now harvesting, we should be harvesting significantly more coal. I actually imagine the restrictions they will be getting onto the ability for them to mine coal at the other end. We shall see. We shall see. Once we've got the ability to do it, I'll put like arrows and things on here so you know which way to go without getting run over. Hey, Hans. Oh, and yeah, Warpath is the ultimate suggestion. The good boy himself. Yeah, okay, that's we are overburdened with coal at this end. Okay, let's see. Is it going to run over Longfang? Yep. Oh man. I'm afraid, Longfang, you are going to be sore in the morning. Okay. Right. It's fine. Right. Okay. So now I need to get Logistics Mark III up and going. So that we can. So I need a bunch more of those. Okay. Cool. 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 Because then we can get the get all the extra bits and pieces up and running, and running on a faster conveyor. That'll be the big thing. So we'll turn this back on, at least temporarily, and see if it behaves. We can also see where the is it just being caused by it not coming down here fast enough? Because I think that's probably the issue. Like, maybe? Maybe not. It seems to be... Well, it seems to be moving pretty smoothly. And that's just pulling up consistently. Huh. I take it the Mark II conveyors aren't really worth it. They are... the Mark II conveyors are useful, but they're not, like... at the point at which they are... the point at which you're using them, they use resources that are better served elsewhere a lot of the time. But they are also necessary to make certain things function, so it's a whole thing. The Mark III ones, though... once you've got production up and running for the things, then it's a lot simpler. So okay, coolio. That's all functioning. That's doing its thing. Cool. Right then. Let's get our logistics on. Whee! I should actually, because currently the quartz, because you don't actually need quartz right now. For much apart from making the little signs, all of the quartz is just going into here to make coupons. But when I can be bothered, I will hook it up to the main system. All right. Organization. Is steel beams, Yeah, I forget how when you've got these like up like this, it's kind of finicky to actually get on the fucking. You know what? Let's just make this simple for myself. There we go. This is how you do it. There's steel pipe. There's steel pipe. Boom. All right. Okay. So pipes are fine with its beams. That does not surprise me. I might just, for the time being, actually turn off all of the things making pipes and just let the beams eat all of the resources, just for now. Just because, wow, is it enjoying making pipes? I think it's mostly just because pipes don't take as much to make, so it's like, it's fine. Damn it. I should really learn to leave a little bit more space so you can more easily jump across things. So yeah, we'll just leave those off for a little bit. Cosmos. Cosmos is a good boy. Okay. Right, so now for the riveting experience of just letting these things tick over for a little bit. If you want, actually, a head design, I think is really cool. Fuck, what they're called? The black skids repaint. Fuck, what's their name? It's falling out of my head. That's got like, Burnout. Yeah. I really like Burnout's head design. It's real cool. Alright, yeah, looking at this, it is, yeah, this is, weirdly that's fine, but a couple of these are starting to not have maxed out coal, so they are losing their coal very slowly to, yeah, there we go, as more of the system's being pulled away, that's getting less and less. Alright, okay. So yeah. And that's, I believe that is purely a conveyor belt issue. We just need the conveyors to move faster, so yeah. I guess I've just got to wait until we've got 100, well, 88 of those things left, and I'll just grab these whilst I'm here. For we do not need them. Ooh, wow, this is really backed up. Making a thing I do not need right now. But it's fine, because I will just feed it into the sink, and then we will turn it into windows. Plop. Yeah, get this down here. Okay, we got 2, and it's 6 for windows, 2 for doors. That's kind of all fine right now. Would like to get inverted ramps at some point. Half foundations would be nice. do some of these things to like prettify things. Ah, so much. Need so much. There's much I can really do with that right now. Alright. What are you doing here? Huh, okay. You thought you'd have a breather, did you? Alright. I just had this thing of like, if I keep adding automated tractors, eventually I'm gonna have to face Elon Musk's ultimate nightmare: his automated cars unionizing. That's just a future Factorio series of streams that you build a factory in the form of a giant orc effigy. The problem with Factorio, A, the devs are a bunch of dickheads, and so I kind of don't really want to give them any attention. But because it's 2D, like Factorio, it's like so flat. It's kind of hard to make a thing be anything other than just a flat factory, because that's just all the game kind of allows for. So building like a huge effigy thing really work. It wouldn't really work. And I think there's a lot less intricacy to like this. Oh, you meant Satisfactory. Okay, my apologies. I mean, that can be in here. We can make a robot, like a big orc-looking thing. I'd need a lot more of various guff from the sink, but it's definitely doable. What the fuck am I doing? Ah, yes. Okay, we're so close, everybody. I mean, granted, once we have got there, I still need a shitload of steel beams in order to actually upgrade all of the conveyor belts. What am I holding? Is it a blue walnut? Oh yeah, this is just a nut. I'm just sitting here eating my nuts. You know how it is. Sometimes you just got nothing to do. Okay, one more. There we go. Okay, cool. Right. I'm glad you're all appreciating my humor. Okay, so logistics Mark III.
Milestone reached. Logistics can be improved with a larger storage container and enhanced conveyor belt efficiency.
Right, so yes, so we have these, which are both just steel, so, yeah. Cool. Right, let's go and check on the steel production, just see if we can, if overclocking it would help or not. Or more accurately, where overclocking it would help. Does the giant pistachio help you build factories? Yeah, it's moral support. I guess actually what would help is, oh God, I don't have enough to do that, is upgrading this to a Mark II at least. Oh wait, no, that's the thing I turned off for a reason. I was very confused for a second there. Okay, speed coming in, that's the more of the issue again. Okay, right, well, I will upgrade that, so I'll need to go and get some of the things. Okay. Bloop. Um, have you tried the Dyson? No, I haven't had a chance to try it yet, Hans, I'm afraid. I know what I'm like with these kind of games, the big factory games, of that I get so into them that I kind of have to, like... I have to make sure I've got nothing else that I need to get done when I start playing one, because I know it's probably going to rob a week from me. So, I'm like, okay, I'll think about that. I'll get that done at some point. Also, not helped recently with everything going off. I just, it's. I found myself just going to very familiar, comfortable games. Even when I played something new, like the Final Fantasy VII remake, that's still a remake of something that I really, you know, is a comfy space for me. So. Okay, so that's now coming in quicker. I'd upgrade these to Mark III straight up, but I need to deal with the coal issue first. Right. Oop. Okay. Right. Can I do this from this side? Yes, excellent. Okay. Oof, that is a lot of steel. I need to do that. Alright, okay. Satisfactory is just very comfy. Yeah, there's... I have talked about this on numerous occasions, but there is just something... I mean, I've been streaming for an hour and 20 minutes, and it feels like I've been doing it for 10. Like, there is just something about this game that just... It soothes my brain. Okay, how are you doing? Okay, you're about half. Posture check. Okay. I'll stop crouching over like a gremlin, and I'll eat a tang fastic. Oh. Okay. Gotcha, I'm gonna need, like, probably over 100 of this shit. Because there's 3, conveyor lifts. Going up the side, and then there's stuff on the end of that, so that's probably going to push around about 100 in total. So, yeah. So I'll just go and do it as I'm going, just because it keeps me doing something. I didn't want to, like, talk about... There we go. Stuff's starting to get a little bit... Yeah, have some extra coal. There we go. Things are starting to get a little bit hairy. But I did want to talk about my complicated feelings about Twitter as of late. Because, like, I can't be the only person that is very... that, like, on the one hand, is like, I don't like Twitter per se, but I do acknowledge that it is, like, the one social media platform that I feel comfortable using. like it's familiar. I'm used to it. It's boy has it got its problems, but like I know where I am. You know, spent many years building up an audience there. You know, and like okay, you know, it is what it is. And I acknowledge, and like I see like so many people who've built up community there, like so many people who've gained a platform and a voice that they would not have on other platforms just by the kind of nature of it. And I'm not talking about arseholes who have platforms on there. I'm talking about people who just not, you know, like marginalized voices who would not have that position. It would be harder for them to find that community were it not for that platform. And so seeing it get fucked over so quickly, it sucks. Like, you know, I don't want to move on to another platform and have to build up everything again and have to learn the foibles of a new site again. But like that's a purely kind of selfish thing. That's just me. But like, there's actual like legitimate material. Like things are just gonna suck for like a lot of people having to move after, you know, carving out a niche for themselves. Especially given that Twitter has become like one of the default places for people to post information and stuff. So to see it get fucked over so quickly out of one dude just being the most divorced man. But on the other hand, I really want to see it be proved in a controlled environment that Elon Musk is a fucking moron whose only ability at business is having a lot of money. Like, I kind of just I want to see, you know, the like it to be proved that it really is all bollocks. Like, but I know it's at the expense of something that's actually worth saving, so it's very okay. Right, that is now pulling. You can see that's quite a lot faster. All right. You okay then? You're not out of fuel? Okay. No. Oh, it's because there's no power, so this is it's waiting for that, and there's no power. Okay, that makes okay. I should just put some goo at the bottom of here, so I can just do that and just drop down and not worry about it. But you know, instead, I prefer to give everyone in. Okay, where's the extra power being pulled from? Because it was fine before. What are you? What happened? Let's let's turn off the steel production again, just I know those do take a fair bit of power to run. The foundries, and see if that'll... Because I just need to add another coal thing, it's not a big deal. Okay. You're behaving. Okay, consumption's going right down. Right. Can I turn that back on now? Have you figured out that actually it's fine? Because I think you might have done. But yeah, I was talking about. Yeah, no, yeah, it's very frustrating, just to see like just Elon doing his fucking Elon bullshit, and it's like, my dude, just fucking like. I know that so far you've been able to just throw money at things and then get people who are much smarter and capable than you, and paying them to actually do the things that, you know, are required to make your businesses run. But like, Jesus Christ, man, just fucking like get your shit together, man. Like, oh yes, I'm going to buy this thing for twice what it's worth. And what it's worth is, you know, a very nebulous term anyway, because the stock market is on a fundamental level not real. So it's, I don't know, it's just, it's so fucking, it's one of those things where you just, you are observing it, and you know, whatever you do isn't going to affect any of this, so you're just kind of just sitting there on the sidelines going like, what the fuck is going on? This is obviously going to fuck up, and then you're just watching it fuck up for the exact reasons you knew it would fuck up, and yet apparently it's, you know, it's just because, oh, we don't have the same level of genius brain as he does, and it's like, well, I mean, it sounds like he's doing pretty obvious things that won't work, and then getting weirded out when they don't work. And yeah, under normal circumstances, it would be cool to watch a guy lose a shitload of money because he's a fucking idiot. That would be great. But, like, it's not just that. It's taking away, like, a platform that lots of people use to, like, fucking keep in touch with people and shit. And lots of people use it for work. Like, there's lots of artists, that's where they all their commissions and stuff come through Twitter. So, like, it's... Like, I kind of feel like it's too big to like, be completely nuked or whatever, but, like, I kind of foresee it ending up like, say, MySpace or what have you, where it's just, like, a ghost of its former self and no one really uses it anymore. Yeah. Alignment, that's exactly the thing that I'm you know, like, that's a concern, and it's like I say, it's easy to just be like, Twitter is dying, that is amazing, for Twitter is the bad place, which it is. Like, don't get me wrong, but also just Jesus Christ, just anyway, I have to stop complaining and do something constructive. Even though sometimes complaining is a constructive thing you can do. Don't take that as a don't complain thing. Complain all you want. Right. Oh yeah. I wanted to upgrade the conveyors for screws, because that is one of the big there we go. Okay, right. Okay, so it's all flowing that way, and that's all locked up there because that's going down the bottom. Alright, so then we will upgrade this. Then we go up to the next level. Yeah, mod hell, that's the theory. Enough people get pissed off, things can change. And sometimes that even works. Not as often as we'd like, but I mean... Alright. Now. Let's upgrade all this stuff to tier 2s. Doesn't really need to be tier 3s because it's not getting that much stuff into it. All right. Yeah, they're still coming in with a little gap, which implies there is something in the system that's making it a little slower. Let's show you what's going on up here. Ah, there it is. There's a little snippet that's there we go. There we go. Sorry, I just had a moment where I so you know the little squishmallows that we have when you're a subscriber. Which, by the way, if you are a subscriber, you get a little squishmallow that changes colour depending on how long you have subscribed next to your name, as you have noticed, because a lot of people have them. I forget. I always forget that we added a thing for the other tiers, and so they get little bow ties. I completely forgot about that for a second, so I just saw. I just saw one with a bow tie, and it just made me smile because I forgot I did that, and it's just adorable. Wow, this is actually meaning that our iron plate production is kind of low. Okay. Oh yeah, a bunch of people, yeah, loads of people have been fired due to all this Twitter shenanigans, and it's like, fuck off. Just fuck off. Alright. Okay, right, well, we know what the next thing is, because I'm looking at this, and this is the thing. So you speed up production in one area of your factory, and then that means it's pulling more from other areas. So you just keep going back and back until everything matches up. So I now need, because I am pulling iron ore from here, which is going up to do steel production. That means we now require more iron ore being pulled in general, which is easy enough. There is shitloads of iron to be mined around here, but mostly I just need to have more capacity to bring it in. So again, we must do the thing. But yeah, with all the people getting like fired from Twitter and stuff because old Muskrat wants thank you all of the noises outside doing his bullshit. Like I think he's trying to do the well, I am rich man, and so therefore I can do what I want. So it does not matter that what I'm doing, that firing people in the way I am is technically illegal. I am rich and I can get away with things. That is the point of being rich. But there are times when that does not apply. And I'm hoping that this ends up being one of those and he gets bitten in the arse. But yeah, this is why it's good to be in a union. I mean, at the end of the day, this stuff would not be the first time there has been labour violations tied to Elon Musk, so, you know, I can understand why he'd be blasé about it. Doot. Okay. What's causing that to come in a little bit shaky? Is it because there isn't enough coming in? It was very. I will say, 'cause it's still got, people still talking about it in chat. It was very funny seeing Musk like go, "Oh, it's the it's the woke moralists," being the reason why. Advertisers are getting, have been convinced not to go by the woke mob, and it's like, no. Advertisers are looking at the shit show and going like, this isn't something to bet on right now. Let's maybe see where this one's going to go before we decide if we still want to deal with Twitter. Only mildly related, but Snipe and I were having a discussion yesterday about how the up yours woke moralists will see who cancels who is a very frustrating thing that was said. Just because, speaking as someone who writes jokes, nothing I will ever write will be as funny as Jordan Peterson going, up yours woke moralists will see who cancels who. Nothing I ever write will be that funny. It's everything. It's what it was over. It's the petulant rage. It's his weird little Kermit voice. Just everything about it. Just perfect. Oh, and Mod Hell, yes, I did. An advertising rep just told him what the problem was, and he was like, no, and just blocked him. We live in a strange world, don't we? Anyway, so I've now upped that. Let's see how production's going. You know what, we haven't used the bouncy pad in a while, have we? Let's just use the bouncy pad. Whee! It just lead up to the exact point I need to as well, so, that works out well. Okay, this is all just being supplied. Like that one's full up. Is that actually going up? I realise I should probably explain what's happening here. Because there's more ore coming in, the first one obviously fills up first, and so is full. And then if you watch the next one along, if that number's completely stable, then, you can't really add anything to it because it's already, like, on the limits. of what it can like pull in. Whereas if it's slowly going up, you know, there is actually a little bit of room left in the tank, because once that's filled up, then this one will fill up, then this one will fill up, and then, you know, you can add more. It's a whole thing. Just imagine the door not working with slamming into it cartoon style. That would be great. I think the doors are actually just, you do just phase through them. Like, because there's that bit that's like locked. But I can't actually remember if, oh no, wait, because you can, I don't know if it's possible to test if you can slam into them. I guess because whenever one's been open, I have just passed through it. Whenever one's been closed, rather, I've passed through it. I think that's because it's been bugged out. I do not know. A hypertube cannon could figure it out. Yeah, that's a good point, actually. That's a good point. I think we can. I actually haven't set the next research up. I could research tubes, actually. You know, for Longfang, so he can... We know how Longfang feels about his tubes. No, I don't know what I mean by that. Although I need to do the encase. I need to do this one, so I can make encased industrial beams, because those are needed to research the hypertube. So we actually don't have a choice. Cool. Yeah, you can have what I have. All hail the tube. All right. Let's see. All the tractors are doing their job. That's actually a point. Come with me. I meant to go up to the thing up top and basically check on the other end of coal production. Now we've upped how much is being pulled into it. I do need to check to make sure it's not running low, because if it is, then that's a problem that we'll run into. So I shall have a look. Yeah, Seamus. Have the colour scheme for the factory. Oh, we went Constructicon colours, because who I am as a person, basically. So let's get on the road again, and we'll see how it is on the other side. Okay. I hit an impenetrable wall that turned out to only be impenetrable as long as you tried to penetrate it, and then it just said no. Okay, cool. Hit a shield from Dune. Yeah. As long as I went slowly, I could go through it. God, I need to watch the new fucking... I say new, it was like last year, wasn't it? Dune movie. I still haven't got around to watching it. I literally watched the fucking mini-series, the sci-fi mini-series, like, last week. But I need to watch that. My odd relationship with Dune. A book series, on a fundamental level, I don't actually like, but I do keep reading. Such a bizarre series of books. People can like the Dune books, so I'm led to believe. I have yet to see evidence of this, but I'm led to believe so. But what I want to do is I really want them to. Okay, yeah, I could do with upping the stuff over here. Because we could really do. If I was smart, I would have brought a bunch of Have I got enough to up this? Because this is the part that really needs to be done. Okay. Because, yeah, we are now requiring more coal than before. So we need to get this stuff up and running. I think I can make Mark II miners now. So... No, I can't. That's... Oh, is that Advanced Steel Production 2? Oh, where the fuck did Miner Mark II come from? It doesn't matter. It's not like... These are already, like, pulling at max, so it's fine. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, what I really... what I really want to do is... Hello. Oh god. Oh god. Chat. Hello. Ah, good, good. That was saying chat. That wasn't being like wondering like why being complaining that you didn't say anything. It was because the chat wasn't loading on my screen, and I was like, oh, can you load please so I can tell? Okay, excellent. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Apparently, Elon Musk got into the Twitch tubes because he didn't want me to talk about how he's going to become the Worm Emperor. That's definitely what happened. My opinions on Dune are just too spicy, apparently. Yeah, sorry about that. My internet just completely fucking died. It just completely fucking just disappeared. Just turned off. So that's cool. Or more accurately, the wired connection did. Not the Wi-Fi for some reason, and because the computer is into a wired connection, because that's the fucking sensible thing to do if you can. Yeah, that just died, and I had to restart everything to get it working again. So sorry about that. Just give me a second whilst Steam fucking loads up and I actually boot the game. Okay. Oh. But yeah, sorry folks for that that interruption. Although now that's fixed, I do now need to quickly go for a bathroom break. But I shall be back with you momentarily. I will leave you with the dulcet tones of, well, what will be Satisfactory's menu once it loads. Okay, I return. Oh, so, yeah, sorry about that, everybody. I know that you folks are the real ones who stuck by me and didn't leave when the stream died, even though that's a perfectly reasonable thing to do because you're allowed to, like, not wait for random man on the internet. But yeah, so I guess to complete my thoughts, what I was talking about Dune earlier, is that I really want to see a motion picture, like a full-blown movie of anything past the first book. Because the first book maps onto, like, kind of conventional storytelling methods very easily. Like I say, you can do the full-on, just the basic hero's journey kind of path. Like, it has twists and turns, and it's Dune, so it's fucking weird at times. But there's kind of like a very kind of straightforward kind of structure to what's going on. Once you get past the first book, it goes in fucking weird directions, and it's mostly just a lot of people who are all like, I'm very smart, just as planned. Trying to outmaneuver each other for like several books, but never actually talking to each other, but both like playing chess in their mind, and it's quite frustrating to read. And it gets very strange, and you then end up at points where a bloke turns himself into a worm man, marries his sister, and then 1,000 years later discusses with a man named Duncan Idaho the new form of homophobia that he's invented, whilst lamenting that he no longer has a penis. So, you know, I want to see Hollywood attempt to try and adapt the weird end of Dune. Oh, no, you're right. Yeah, it's a 3,500 year gap. It's like, I mean, you know, 40K is very heavily influenced by Dune, and it picked up its time periods go past that are so long it really doesn't matter. But yeah, so it's like I say, it's just one of those things. Like I find myself fascinated by Dune more than liking it. They do need to keep cloning Duncan Idaho. It's the only way. I remember someone just describing Dune as just Duncans all the way down, and I'm like, yeah, it's fair. I like the sci-fi miniseries. I watched the sci-fi miniseries recently, and I had previously watched the Children of Dune, which is like children and fuck. Was Messiah? Yeah. Yes, it said, yeah, Messiah and Children of Dune, they kind of compiled into one thing, which made sense. Sorry, I like how because Longfang keeps getting hit by the trucks, it's moved him further and further away. Ah, there we go. He's finally been nudged out of the way, just. But cool. Okay, right. I'm trying to remember, where the fuck were we? What were we doing? What was I aiming towards before the Dune times happened? Because we established that the coal is fine. It's ticking along as well as it can do. Okay. We're up to 4. Is there anything else that we desperately need? Some of these would be nice, just to pretty things up, and some of these, but they cost a lot. Well, they cost a lot for what we need, because we need so much right now. But yeah, no, I really... Because the thing about Dune is that I suppose we could get some lights in here as well. Is that, like, yeah, there's some parts of it where it's like I say, the first book kind of feels like it has a kind of distinct thing, and then I feel like the next couple of books are very much on a like path of like leaders are a bad, charismatic leaders are a bad idea. And so you can kind of feel that that's like a sensible way to go about things, but then like fuck. Concrete foundation, that's like 3. Should we do concrete foundation or windows first, chat? What do you think is more important? Concrete harmonious daylight. But yeah, so I kind of got what was going on with like the first 3 Dune books, and then when I got to the 4th one, and I did spend the whole thing going like, Frank, what is this about? Like I don't know. It's just like like I don't know. It's like it feels like it's trying to like do a thing where the big slug man or the big worm man is right, but also he's not. And like he like I say, he does a bunch of weird homophobia in it, and he does this to Duncan Idaho, who is being treated as the sensible person he's talking to, and Duncan's like, oh wow, maybe there is something to this homophobia, and you're like, what the fuck is this book about? It's just fucking weird, and just a large portion of it is Worm Man being like, I miss my penis, and I'm like, I don't care about Worm Man's penis. Can we stop talking about Worm Man's penis or his lack thereof? It's very strange. I don't know. I did not get on with God Emperor of Dune. It was just weird to me. Like, I do have the book after it, because I got a couple of them cheap when the new movie came out, and I was like, oh yeah, we'll do that. So I will, because like I half expect a bit of context to be given in that book, like it to go, oh, by the way, this is what the point of that last book was. I know it was hard to tell what the point of the last book was because it seemed fucking pointless. Which I hope is the case. I prefer it when things are good than when things are just bad for no reason. Okay. And like, to be fair, if you're like, you know, just to be clear, if you really like Dune, fair play. Like I do not think you are foolish for liking it. I just don't. By the time it hits the 4th book, I just don't know what it's trying to say anymore. It just seems to just be like just things happening, and I'm like, well, I kind of prefer when things happen for like some kind of reason. Like, it'd be nice if it had something to say, because I felt like the previous ones did, even if it got a little muddled sometimes. See, now a sensible person would simply turn these machines off, since they are not actually doing anything of consequence right now, because I don't even have this hooked up, because I was going to move the space elevator at some point so that I could make those 2 new things. But that would be the sensible thing that a sensible person would do. Whereas I'm... Goes down the needed things. Okay. Yes. Yeah, actually, yeah, Carmichael, you're probably right there, actually. Because, yeah, it does mean that you don't have to use those anymore. Which would probably be good. So that would just be 3, which I can do now. So that is a good call. That is a good call. And then we do it with materials, concrete foundation, and then yeah, there we go. Hark, now it is a slightly different colour of grey. Ha ha. And this is good for reasons. It is, actually. Yeah. Okay, let me just go and also replace the stuff where vehicles drive across it. And I'll go and do the Skyway. Oh, now I've got to go do... Now for my own sense of order, I need to do all this. Okay, I'm going to do it all, aren't I? Yep. I'm going to do the thing. If you do some of it, you need to do all of it, because otherwise then it's messy. I say as if the factory is currently a model of unmess. Yeah, Soup, yeah, Dune's really fucking weird. I feel a way of putting it is that if someone explains a part of Dune to you and your response isn't to go, excuse me, what the fuck did I just read? Then they probably haven't explained it well enough. Especially late era Dune. Like I think like early Dune is pretty self-explanatory. Like I say, it's a pretty conventional story. You can do the whole father, the sleeper has awakened, all that shit. But yeah, when you get to the later stuff, it just gets very strange. Basically, what we want to do is we want to make it so that the ladder ride up here is so long that it gives anyone in chat long enough to find the details for the Snake Eater bit donation, so that they can do it as we are going up the ladder. That's the dream. That's what we're aiming for. Oh, is this because? I have no room in my pockets, and that's what's causing this. Let me just do a thing. Fucking have that. I shouldn't have done that. That was just me being amused by it. This is going to be a pain in the ass to pick all this up. Can I just eat it? No, I've got to do it. It took me quite a few years between reading Dune and Messiah. I might take it to children by 2030, probably because how eventually going down the shitter, so I'm hesitant to get invested. You see, I'm not going to tell you like to not read something or to read something. That's not my place to do. What I will say is that if you are frustrated by how Dune is by the second book, I do not think you are going to get any less frustrated with the later ones. Or at least, because I've only read the first four, and I do not feel like you're going to get any less annoyed by it. Make sure I'm not going to get run over by it. I don't know why, but evenly placed boxes always creeps me out. I can see that it's a very unnatural, odd. It has an oddly threatening aura. Hope you enjoy this time where I go down a very, very long straight road and gradually retexture everything. Basically, once the later Dune books, the prescience is dangerous, can potentially lead to humanity being completely wiped out, and the golden path that Leto II Mark II is there to prevent that. See, that's the thing. It's like I think the part that like kind of just like throws me off about the later ones, that it's like the early ones have like a very, well, I say the early ones, I mean like the first three. At least there's like a kind of like, you can, like, even though there's the sci-fi bullshit, there is like a way that you can read that as like being something, having something to say about things. Whereas, oh, it'd be if you could, oh god, I'm fucking full up of shit again. Okay. I have a plan. And that plan is to just eat all these nuts. I did not say it was a complicated plan. Okay. On the road again. I mean, like, oh shit, yeah, I should have get the Blade Runner thing. I completely forgot about those. It's because we never ended up wearing them, because the last time we played it was when you could only have like one set of things on at a time, so there was like a lot of stuff that we just couldn't have once we had the jetpacks, whereas now you can. So I should go and sort those out. I believe we have all the research for them, I think. Maybe? Wait, Paul married his sister or Leto the Second married his sister? Leto the Second, which, as yes, is Leto Mark II, because Leto the Second Mark II, because yeah, fucking there was like Paul and Shiani had a baby called Leto the Second, and then that baby died, or more accurately, was murdered. And they were like, we'll have another baby. We will call it the same thing. This is emotionally healthy for everybody concerned. It's a real fucking... It's one of those bits where you go, that's just weird. Like, Frank, why did you do that? That's just weird. Okay. Cool. Alright. Should have really bought the bits so that I could just get a tractor back, shouldn't I? But no. Didn't Paul bugger off into the desert or some shit too? Yeah, so So if you don't want to hear spoilers for a book from like Dune the Third Messiah, Dune Messiah's like from like the 70s, right? If you don't want a spoiler for a book in the 70s, then maybe not listen for the next minute. But at the end of the second book, yes, Children's the third one rather, not Messiah. Paul gets blinded, wanders off into the desert, and then in the next book he reappears, and is like, it's written as if you are supposed to be surprised when this guy who comes in from the desert and is blind and says a bunch of stuff that only Paul can know and is definitely Paul, and then it acts like it's supposed to be a surprise when it turns out to be Paul, and you're like, I knew it was Paul from the very, like, page 15 of this book, and on page 200 you treated it like it was a surprise. I've been paying more attention than that, Frank. It's very weird. Like, oh, this mysterious hermit who's been out in the desert and is blind and knows way too much. Yeah, it's fucking weird. Ugh. Okay. The crocodile seems to still be a little wobbly, but it does seem to be a little less wobbly than on the previous things, so I guess that's positive. I suppose that the naming wizard theory could be something there, Mod Hale. Although it's possible Herbert was trying to say something about the inherent replaceability of children in royal lines, because it's not about, you know, being people who are loved and cherished. It's about servicing a lineage. So a literal replacing of a human being is not unusual. This is just such a naked version of it that obviously it feels a little strange. Which may be the intention. I don't know. I am not Frank Herbert. Thanks for all the explosions outside, lads. Alright, okay. So, let's think. Okay, so advanced steel production, let's go and sort that out, because I just need to go and dump a bunch of rotors in. Blade runners, yes, thank you. Blade runners. I need cubes. Cubes. I actually need to automate making cubes. I haven't got an automation thing for them yet. Have not required it. But yeah, the short version of everything I was waffling about there was Dune is a weird series, and I don't know if I recommend anyone read it, but I do find the various adaptations of it deeply fascinating, to see what they include, what they do not include, what they modify, what they don't modify, you know? Whee! I got goat legs. There we go. Okay, cool. We can now run and jump. I mean, we could do those before, but we can do them much better now. Alright. Okay. So, Stinger research is required in Caterium stuff. Got mycelial shit. We've not encountered any pale berries yet. Interesting. Or at least we've not had any that we've dumped in the thingy. Because I think there'll be a bunch where the coal is, so... I just appreciate when the Baron is made less homophobic in adaptations. That is good. That is one of the things. Like this, it's interesting how like you can see a lot about the sensibilities of the time as to what, like I say, what gets adapted straight and what gets modified in different adaptations of Dune, because it's a series that goes places. Oh my goodness, the power grid's down. Is it for the coal thing again? Or is this too much water, or is it too much stuff? It was a sudden uptick in production. Okay. What's using the extra power? I mean, I'll just turn these off. That should help, right? Alright. Is everything was fine before? Has something changed? Okay. Well, I shall turn off more things then, because apparently this is just... Alright. Sure, fucking whatever. Is this going to be like before? Well, like, because I'm going to... Like, do not complain at me, coal generators. I am going to just add more to you. Like, but I need you to be on. Is it just... Yeah, it's just because of stuff... Okay, what's been added since I... Okay. I mean, everything was running fine a moment ago, and now it is not. So that's a thing. I'll turn you off, because you use a fair bit. Alright. Oh, hey, look. Right. Okay. Fine. Okay, right. Well, first order of business is, you know what? I can't be bothered to build some more things, so let's just... Let's see if this screws over the water situation, which it might. Have so many iron plates right now. I'll probably just throw it in here, because my other container is full of them. And also... boom. Is the sink causing spikes? Not to my knowledge. As far as I know, it just uses a stable amount of power. It is a fair amount, like, for when you first get it. Yeah, it just uses 30. Yeah. Very strange. Okay, let's just make sure that the overclocked thing isn't causing too much of an issue. Because that could be pulling... Okay, that's all fine. It's all fine and stable. Fine and stable. Fine and stable. Okay, it's fine. And we're producing well above what it requires, so I can turn shit back on. Alright, okay. Weird. Thanks for auto-saving at that exact moment, game. Hey. My jumping speed has been changed by the blades, so it's like throwing me off. I'm so used to jumping for that thing whilst I had like a specific like speed and everything. Weird. Did I turn these things back on? No, let's turn those back on so we get the stuff we need from there as well. I can see. Oh yeah, the skid thing. How do we do it? There we go. Can Titanfall this shit. Can slide for an uncomfortably long amount of time. And only mildly injure myself. Yeah, we go. That didn't quite work how I intended, but hey-ho. What am I even doing over here? Okay. Well, the big green thing doesn't really look any different from the outside since I've started for the last, like, what, 2.5 hours or however long it's been. But it is different on the inside, which is what is important. Alright, yes, advanced steel production, and then we can do the tubes, because that's what I want, the tubes.
Milestone reached. Logistics can be improved with a larger storage container, enhanced conveyor belt efficiency, as well as the ability to store excess power for later use.
Ooh,
An
batteries.
additional project part can now be constructed. Further progress to the
Batteries are
next phase
so
is now possible.
fucking useful when you've got a factory that sometimes just decides it's using way more, but isn't most of the time. So, yeah, I'm going to build a couple of batteries. That's my first priority right now. How many? Build a couple. That'll be 10 state walls. I did not see the announcement for Vermintide 2. No, that's cool. I've not played Vermintide in a long time, so I've not really got my fingers on the pulse in that department. But it's a cool video game. Okay. Where should I put these? So I can put them down here. Kind of be in the way a little bit wherever I put them. I kind of like to put them together. Put them outside, I guess? Or actually, I guess I could put them where the power stuff actually is. That'd be a sensible place to put it, I guess. Because we have plenty of room in here. Even if the roof is a little close, but you know what? It's fine, we'll work with it. Oh no, I forgot about the square lads. It's fine. I'd say I'd neaten it up later, but I definitely won't. Yeah, Carmichael, I've had a few times where I've had real like power issues that were entirely mitigated by just having a huge batteries. So I kind of got into the habit of always having at least a handful running. I had like a ludicrous amount running on my last factory. I've shown all you folks I've shown you my old factory, right? The one I built off stream mostly. That was that had a big nice train and everything. Because if I haven't, I might wrap up the stream showing that. Because I can't remember if I actually did like a full like tour of that thing. Or if I just posted it on Twitter. I never remember such things. Okay. Alright, okay. Okay, so we've got batteries, and let me just make sure this whole thing is working properly, and I don't need to, so the coal's fine, the water's fine, alright, okay, cool. Alright, we're back in the green on everything, excellent. So, you can daisy chain batteries. Oh, can you? I did not realise that. Thought they had to be. Excellent. Excellent. Did not realise that. Well, I do now. Thank you. But yeah, so. Right, so we've done a lot of little faffy things tonight. Like, there's been nothing kind of grand, I guess. Because we built steel production. So we did all this, and we've dealt with a lot of little faffy little things that needed to be done and upgraded. So Not the most flashy stream, I'm aware, but you know, that's how these factory things kind of work. Sometimes it's big stuff, sometimes it's little stuff. But so my plan for off-stream time, for I am always going to take any opportunity to play more of this, is I will basically get a bunch of smaller stuff up and running, so that we don't have to worry about it for stream times. So I'll get the hypertubes researched, which will mean I'll probably have to build a production facility to get the encased steel beams sorted out. And I will attempt to get some automated systems done for the cubes, because I haven't done the cubes. And for all the Phase 2 stuff, I'll probably just get the Phase 2 stuff set up, mostly. Because once that's set up, that can then tick over, because that'll obviously take a while. And if I don't do that before the next stream, then there's not really a great, you know, I won't be able to move forward that much. But because the next stream will probably end up being very tube focused, so we need to be able. I think encased beams are used in tunnel and tube construction, so we'll need that. And yeah, so there might be a bit of a jump by the time you see this factory in the next stream, but I will talk you through whatever bullshit I've done. And I've just noticed the batteries are slightly poking out the back there. We will ignore that. We will ignore that. We will cover it up later. Can I just... I couldn't remember if you could just bulk up walls with extra walls. I didn't think you could. Oh well. Maybe it's the thing I'll just like build a wall around it, just a thing to cover it up. Oh well, don't matter. I'll sort that out later. Anyway, I'll just to wrap up the stream, I will just show off my other factory, which is built in the same location, in fact. Because if you haven't seen it, I think it's quite fun, and yeah. I'm very good at naming things, as you can see. Yeah, that's the last part. One of the other ones just auto-saves. Just so you can see how big and sprawling an end-game factory actually is when you kind of know what you're doing and you're not worrying about any kind of narrative through line for streaming. Because although I did stream this factory a couple of times, it wasn't like, you know, something I was like trying to maintain any kind of sensible thing for. So here is the factory. I suppose I should put something. I should get things. And there's my train and my golden mug. Dickhead. Fuck off. Alright, so yeah. So you can see that's where the sky, like the sky bridge comes from on the other save we've got, which I did with an incredibly tall boop. Leave me alone. Oh, hello there, Keisha and Raiders. Hello. I hope you are okay. Thank you for coming and paying us a visit. I am, in fact, just giving a quick tour of my old factory before we... Funny modes. Before we wrap up for the evening, but yeah. So I've got a fun little train system that goes to another factory. Like, this thing got sprawling real fast. Let's see where we are. Because, yeah, like I say, this is set up in basically the same location as the other one. And, like, this is sort of my... this is sort of where the whole thing kind of started off. You see how much nicer factories look when you can put some windows in and everything? Ah, it's lovely. But yeah, so we've got the hub out here. I've got a facility over there that's like, there's my original, like, power system. And that building just makes concrete. That's all that's there for. Oh good, it's been repopulated because of it, not having played this since the update. And I've got the space elevator on top of there. So I'm trying to think where all my weird buildings are. Made quite a lot of use of drones in this one, so I've got lots of drone stations about, which I think we used when we did the streams. But yeah, this is it's a pretty big factory. Very sprawling, with different sectors sort of designated to like different uses. So this is where like the vast majority of all the chemical stuff and plastics are made all over here. I can't remember what's over here. This is like a mini power station. Yeah, this was a little mini power station. I think it was entirely for the runoff of petroleum coke, just to have some use for it. Because what is it that needs it? Yeah, it was circuit boards that we had I had a recipe to make that. All right, okay. Oh yeah, this was going to be for a thing, but I never ended up needing another layer of things, because this is having had, you know, I have beaten quote unquote the game here. But yes, now I'm just remembering myself where everything is. Ah, now I remember. This guy who never left the entire run through, he was always hanging around here. I just let him. He just hang out. Here's my item storage, which I never ended up using most of them. I'll say most of them, a big chunk of them. But this is where all my item storage was. Oh, you should see behind. You can get behind and you see the absolute, like... Oh, this side's actually fine. I can see the other side that's a nightmare. Autosave? Yep, there we go. Yeah, it's a little bit more terrifying on this side, with stuff coming in from the roof and everything. It was one of those things where everything was kind of like nice and sensible to begin with, but things gradually got more and more complicated as time went on. Ow. I drink my tea at you. But yes, I think we come over here and we've got more complicated production lines. Oh, and then we have there's the facility that produces nuclear material. Slightly too... just far enough away that I don't get irradiated by standing over here. Which then goes over here to a nuclear power plant. Which I think I only actually ever... I think I only ever built one. Which I built out in the ocean. But then it sends off... All those things over there are all full of excess nuclear material. Because I just couldn't be bothered to build a thing to break down the nuclear material. The like... nuclear waste into useful stuff. I just couldn't be bothered to build it this time around. Because I was like, I can't be fucking arsed, mate. But yeah, no, this factory is big. And I think relatively neat. Like, this is obviously a bit of a nightmare, but that's just because, you know, just the nature of these things. They end up, as things go, and you need to have more things going to more places, it just gets sillier and sillier. But yeah, so I was quite happy with this. It's quite a fun little thing and relatively neat. These are quite fun because these are like this factory. You have these little like gaps between, so you can go between them. But they're all like little pods. That each do a specific type of thing. So they each do something that requires an assembler to do. So this whole area is making modular frames. And like each one is just kind of its own thing that does a specific thing, and there's like these little walkways between them. I don't know, I was just quite happy with how this whole thing turned out. And so you go down the bottom, and we get to the final one. And oh, is the train here? Because the door's open. Yes, the train's here. Can I get on board it in time? Because we can go and see the other factory, because once you go through this, I ended up towards the end basically rebuilding a factory at the very basically the place that we did the previous stream save. Because I needed some more resources, and they just weren't around here, and I wanted an excuse to build a train, so I needed to have something to put on a train. So, yeah, we can take a little train ride. Oh, thank you, Corvus and Carmichael. We have a nice beachside thing. Like a beachside run, which I appreciate. It's one of the things I do kind of wish was better. Like, if I could like put down a wish list of things I wish the game did better, one of them is that I wish laying train tracks wasn't such a nightmare. Because I really like the trains, but like, just building the tracks is a fucking pain in the arse. Yeah, just a fun little beachside thing. Make it work like conveyors instead of whatever it is. I would settle for just making it so if it you could do. Oh, good, there's an enemy right in the middle of the crap. Oh, okay. I would settle for yeah, if you could put down foundations and you could then just lay it like in prefab parts, because if you need to say make ramps and stuff, the method that it has is okay for passing over organic kind of terrain like this, but the moment you start getting into factories, it's just so faffy. I remember that bit being a pain to make, though. But yeah, so this is the this is like the normal starting area, like where you start off if you just have the very first you go by with the very first one. And so just a little nice mini factory over here. Which just, yeah, it builds what it needs to put in. What does this even supply? I forget now. Oh, I can't look because it's doing its... The train loading animation is very satisfying, I will admit. The train does a little pop and goes around on a little loop so that it can get out and rejoin the single track. Off it goes. Goodbye, train. But yeah, so we do just have this nice couple of buildings over here. So we've got this main factory. I think this one over here that produces. What does this produce? Ah, this is a refinery place. I should really light these up. Oh, I was about to say, why is there a hole? It's not. It's glass. Glass is like a hole, except you hurt your head if you try and walk through it. Yeah, and then we've got another little building over there, which I forget even what's in there. I do have my headlamp, which I could turn on if I wanted to give up. Didn't get you very far, did it? But yeah. Yeah, this is just another... yeah, this was just my little factory to build, just to do one of the things I needed to do over here. I think I needed a bunch of cables and wires, so it was like, oh, well, I guess I need to build a little copper-like plant. So, yeah. And then I couldn't help but try and make everything look at least, look nice and pretty. And so, yeah, that's kind of my... my second factory was a little bit more neat than the old stream one. And I think it looks quite nice. But yes. But with all that said, I shall head off. Oh, and yeah, like I say, this is an endgame thing. I have done everything into the space elevator. This is like a completed save, as much as you complete a game like this. But yeah, that is that. So yeah, let me take a quick old look and see if there is anyone to raid. But yeah, no, thank you for joining me. Sorry we had the impromptu break in the middle there, as my internet fell off. And yeah, I'll get on with those things on my off time, and then we can, and then hopefully by the next stream, we can go hard on the tubes. Okay. Okay, give me 1 second. All hail the tube. All right, let's have a quick look-see. Who we got here? Okay, this person seems like a good one. They're doing a 24-hour like charity stream. So yeah, go and say hello to them. Boom, there we go. Let's wait for that to tick over. So yeah. Chip into their fundraiser, which is for the Children's Miracle Network, I guess. Which is tied into the Extra Life stuff. So yeah, cool. Okay. Right then, well, good night everybody. You take care. And yeah, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.